my top 5 reasons why you should get the more expensive of the two of the MacBook Pro 16-inch. So when you go to buy the MacBook Pro 16-inch, you have two options for the chips. You have the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. And if you're wondering like how to keep them straight, like which is stronger or better than the other, just think of time zones, like 4 a.m. versus 4 p.m., which is the afternoon. And I just know that for PM, P comes first, the M comes second. So in my mind, whatever comes first is like the lower end version, not as strong. And whatever comes second is the new and improved, faster and better. So P for Pro, M for Max. That's how I memorize it. So the M1 Pro is not as strong as the M1 Max. And just listening to the words Pro and Max, it's hard to tell like which one is stronger or better than the other because they both sound like pretty awesome things to have. I have a Pro or I have a Max. So let's go through my top 5 things. And this computer literally just showed up on my door a couple minutes ago. I'm super excited. Can't wait to use it. So if you are new here, my name's Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create pretty pages using Adobe InDesign and using Canva. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Tuesday or extra videos like today because I'm just so excited. So my top 5 reasons are, first, who are you? Like, I'm a graphic designer and I'm a YouTuber, so I'm doing video editing. I'm doing everything that is very like process intensive, where it requires lots of resources, computing speed, RAM, all of that good stuff. So that's why I went with the higher end model, which is the Max. Now that did cost more, but it came with 64 gigabytes of memory, and that was really important to me. Also because I am alone, like I'm single, and I don't know if anyone ever talks about this. I have nobody in the household with me to use their computer or borrow it as a backup. So recently, my Mac Pro, which is my desktop, that big cheese grater one, broke, and I had no computer for pretty much all of November until like just a few minutes ago today. And it's been really tough. I have a Samsung Ultra and I have an iPad Pro, and they're really great for writing. I'm also an author who writes books, but they are completely useless for pretty much everything else, except for watching TV. I have done a lot of TV watching and movie watching, so it's great for that. But in terms of doing any real work, especially if you do what I do, it's not going to be useful. And even email, it's been hard to like answer email on those than it is just having a laptop. So for sure, I will always have a laptop. I did have a MacBook Air, and I sold that because I never really used it. 1, COVID, and then 2, it just doesn't do a lot, right? Like you can't load Photoshop and Illustrator or anything on it. I know some people say they can, but I can't. The files I use, the designs that I do, it just takes up more computing power. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. Maybe I'm using the programs inefficiently, but for sure, like for example, I do a daily planner that has 365 pages in it because there's 365 days in a year. So just having that file open, even with my 96 gig RAM Mac Pro, like cheese grater tower, it does take up some like computing power, and it lags a little. So I can't even imagine, there's no way I'd ever be able to open that up on a MacBook Air. So that is reason number 1. Who are you? What do you use it for? And again, I think also being single and alone makes a difference because this whole month I had no other laptop I could use as a backup. The second thing is the fan. So this battery is supposed to be, this chip is much more efficient so that the battery in theory lasts longer. It uses less battery power. The third thing is the fan. So because it is operating more efficiently, it doesn't get overheated as much with the new chip. And so I for sure do not like hearing the fan kick on. I don't know why. It's like, it's not even a very loud noise. And trust me, I live underneath the flight path for the airport, so it is really loud here. But for whatever reason, I just do not like hearing the fan on the laptop. So this one supposedly will not have it. So I really do like that. The fourth thing is speed. So this one is supposedly 7 to 10 times faster. And I know like if you watch some of the other videos on Bench Geek where they do like actual real numbers and tracking, honestly, I don't really understand most of those stats that I see. But the bottom line is it's just faster. It's in theory twice as fast. It has twice as much memory. And so somehow they've said it's 10 times faster. So I kind of believe it. And then number 5 is resell value. So every time I ever have pretty much Mac and our Apple products and Kate Spade products, I know, so random. Those 2 products always resell very well on eBay at pretty much the same price. Now, my MacBook Air did not. And I think that's because I had the older Intel chip and everyone wants those new Apple chips. So that's why I was like, I'm for sure getting whatever the strongest Apple chip is. So in theory, in 2 to 3 years, fast forward, I'll probably upgrade. And so when I upgrade, I'm going to want to resell this, and having the strongest and best is really going to be the most useful for me. If you're wondering how much disk storage I got 2 terabytes, and I instantly regretted that as soon as I hit the button. I called, it was too late to make any changes, but I really should have gotten 4 terabytes. It was just so expensive, but now that I'm thinking about it, because this is very heavy, it's not light, I think it's like 5 pounds. I don't want to also carry an external drive, right? So yeah, so there's that. Also, another thing is, and this is totally random, I bought this Acme, I don't know, it's like a soft cover. It is it's the skinny sleeve for the MacBook Pro 15-inch. Nice, really nice find. This MacBook Pro 16-inch actually fits in here perfectly with no issues. Now, I don't have a case on it, but it snaps in there, so I can take it with me if I need to have it safely in this case. I'm definitely going to buy a skin for it, which is more like a vinyl decal thing to go over it. I'm not a big fan of the hard cases, but yeah, those are the top 5 reasons. So let's go over those again. First, who are you? I'm a graphic designer and YouTuber. I need all that processing power. Plus, I live alone, so I really don't have anyone in case something happens to this if I need a backup computer. And I do work for myself, so it's important that I'm able to work all the time. The second thing is the battery. This is more efficient. Remember the Max chip, which is the stronger one. And then also the fan is less likely to turn on because it's less likely to get overheated because it's more efficient. And number 4 is speed. It's supposedly 7 to 10 times faster. And number 5 is resale value, because I know for sure I'm probably going to upgrade in 2 to 3 years. So hope that was helpful, and I will talk to all of you later. All right, this came a week early, which was very exciting because, as you know, I've been without a computer for a long time. I ordered this as a backup. I used to have a MacBook Air, and I sold that because, Ben had 2 computers, and he never used the second one. So I was like, why do I have 2 computers when clearly, we have plenty in the house? But obviously, I am solo now, so I needed to buy my own backup, and I went ahead and decided to upgrade to the Mac Pro, and I got the 16-inch, mostly because, honestly, the MacBook Air was just for writing, and if I'm just going to write when I'm out co-working with friends or just out at a coffee shop, I do have my tablet, and that will suffice. It works good enough for that. This is really a backup in case, honestly, in 2.5 years, or has it been 3 years? That computer has never broken, ever. But when it did break, it was a huge issue, and it's actually really heavy to take into the shop. So I thought this could be not only a good alternative if I wanted to co-work or if I could ever travel again, but also this is able to hook up to my dual HDR monitors, or XDR monitors, which a lot of the new computers, for whatever reason, cannot handle dual monitors. So this is truly a backup, and as well as just a great computer to have just to use in case I want to travel. And I really like, so the new ones, 2 things. One, when I resold my MacBook Air, it was the first time I didn't really get a good value. So that thing sold for I think only $300. And the reason on eBay, and the reason is because it had the old Intel chip. So this one has the new M1 Pro, I think it's the Pro Max, there's a Pro and there's a Max, whichever chip is the larger, newer, stronger of the 2, that's the one that this has. And I was gonna wait because we're right now in November of 2022, and there's rumors that they're coming out with a new MacBook Pro in next spring, but I was like, you know what, I just need one now, and it has the new chip, so I think it'll be fine. So I got this one. It is it's the, I don't want to say the higher end, but it has 64 gigabytes of RAM, and it also has, 64 gigabytes of RAM, and I got 2 terabytes of disk storage, which now that I have it, I really wished I had gone to 4 terabytes, but as you know, with Mac, you cannot return it. You're stuck. You can't upgrade these. So it is very large, I will say that. So I have for comparison, I'll just show you. I have the 14, I believe it's the 14.6 inch Samsung tablet, the Samsung Ultra S8. And I also have the iPad Pro, which is just 12 inches. So yeah, so this is definitely the bigger of the two. So super excited because I think because it's such a big screen, one, obviously it would be hard to use on an airplane unless you had a really big seat, but it also is going to be great for graphic design and video editing, just standalone in case I'm not able to use my, what do you call it? My tablet. And just so you know, when you resell these, always keep the box and all of the packaging. It's always going to be, I don't think there's anything in here. Oh, yeah, I do need this. It's always going to resell for a higher value if you keep all of the original packaging. And I think when people buy this, even like 3 years from now, probably when I sell it, they are going to appreciate it and going to be much happier having all of the original packaging in place. Obviously, we're just gonna have to tear that because this is like pretty fitted to there. And always use, I don't know why I put that back in, always use the original, I guess, AC adapter. It's gonna charge so much faster than if you just try to plug it into something else. And do I wanna keep this? I mean, I might as well. I don't know if I can ever wrap it back in perfectly how it was before, but we'll see. And then this is just like, I think, information about the computer. And we will just add this. I was gonna say I'll add it to my closet, but this new apartment I have does not have a closet. So we will just put it somewhere. There we go, possibly under the bed. So this is great. This is a computer that Lucky and I can both use. He has a nice little kitty seat warmer. Do you like it, buddy? Is this like the greatest $5,000 kitty seat warmer you've ever had? I mean, I do have a heating pad for him, but clearly he prefers a keyboard. So